In this movie, we take a look at the operation of the child and sibling selectors. As you can imagine by the name, the child and sibling selectors are going to go back to what we talked about with the DOM. Now, the child selector operates by only affecting the direct descendant of an object. So in essence, limiting inheritance to that level of the DOM. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, to specify that we want a child, we're going to use the greater than symbol. So I want to select emphasis tags that are the direct descendants of paragraphs. And I want to color them red. So as you can see, all I did was separate the emphasis from the paragraph with the greater than sign to say I only want direct descendants of the P. So I'll go ahead and save that and refresh, and you'll see that we have our emphasis here, and emphasis here, and emphasis here. Notice, however, that it did not get this. Now, the reason it did not get that is because that emphasis is not a direct descendant. So if I take a look at what's going on in the code here, our emphasis there is actually the child of strong. So that's why that one is not being affected. So as you can see, the child selector is pretty powerful. It does allow us to specify exactly what we want, but it's really not that commonly used. Now, the next selector, the sibling selector, is going to allow us to specify whether an object with a specific ancestor and a specific sibling will receive a style. So in essence, our sibling selectors are checking a couple of different things before it will apply a style. So to set this up, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here, and what we want to do is we want to select all of the emphasis tags that have a sibling of strong that are inside of a paragraph. So the paragraph is our ancestor. We want to check to see the strong tags, but we want to check and make sure that they're beside our emphasis. So basically what this means is that our emphasis and our strong tags have to be at the same level. So they have to be siblings. One cannot be the child of the other. And they both have to be inside of a paragraph tag. So we're going to set the color here to purple. I'll save that and jump over and refresh, and we'll see what gets affected. Notice how this did not get affected, and I'll mention why in just a moment. But if I scroll on down, we'll see that we have our one paragraph here. We see here's the strong, here's the emphasis, and it's inside of a paragraph. So that's why this region got selected. So if I jump back into the code here, we can actually see that with our code. So here it is. We've got our paragraph tag, and then its child is strong, and the strong starts here, and then closes there, and then the emphasis begins there. So this is the second child, and the emphasis ends there. So these two, the strong and the emphasis, are siblings, and because they're inside of that P tag, it selects it. So as you can see, the sibling selector is a very powerful selector. And the reason it did not select the strong and emphasis up here at the top is again because it's nested. So while the strong tag and the emphasis tag may be right next to each other here, that does not signify that they're siblings. It actually signifies that it's a parent-child relationship. Now, utilizing these selectors will help us to be more specific in what elements we want to affect. However, this is the last selector that we will cover that is dependent on DOM location. That being said, there are other more specific ways to indicate which items will be affected with our different selectors.